4 a.m., February 2026. Russia thinks their nuclear deterrent is as indestructible as Putin's ego, but Ukraine is about to prove that a $5,000 swarm of toys can shatter a superpower's dream in a heartbeat. In exactly 120 seconds, this $300 million strategic bomber, the heavy hitter of the Russian Empire, will be turned into a localized sun. Following Washington's delivery of advanced F-16 blocks to Kyiv, Moscow has moved its Tu-95 and Tu-160 fleets to Engels 2, fueling them for a massive retaliatory strike. But while the satellites are watching the runways, Ukraine is watching the deck. They know that to stop a nuclear-capable strike, you have to blind the giant before it can take its first breath. Ukraine has just activated the Ghost Swarm. This is an AI-driven frequency-hopping assault designed to create digital phantoms on Russian screens. The tension is thicker than the Caucasus fog. The blackjack is fueled, the radar is humming, but the ghosts are already inside the wire. The clock is ticking, and the hunter is about to find out he's been the prey all along. 1:30 a.m., 150 miles from the target. The 20 Liutyi long-range drones have transitioned into a synchronized attack formation. Each 44-pound unit is a masterpiece of cost-effective engineering designed to cover 500 miles at low altitude and deliver a precise strike. They are currently skimming the frozen surface of the Volga River at an altitude of just 80 feet. The choice of the Volga is a cold, tactical calculation. By hugging the river, the drones exploit the curvature of the Earth and the jagged geography of the Saratov region to remain beneath the radar horizon of the Russian Big Bird early warning system. To a system designed to track high-altitude supersonic bombers at a range of 373 miles, a 44-pound carbon fiber drone flying among river bluffs is nearly invisible against the background clutter of the planet. But physics is a relentless adversary. As the formation navigates a sharp bend in the river, they encounter a 30-mile-per-hour headwind. In the dense, freezing winter air, this wind creates massive turbulence that threatens to destabilize the drone's flight controllers. The drones, laden with fuel and 22-pound high-explosive warheads, begin to pitch and yaw violently. It appears as though the entire mission will be scattered and destroyed by the atmospheric chaos of the Volga. Suddenly, drone number 6, acting as the lead pathfinder, is struck by a massive gust and shears into a high-tension power line. It disintegrates in a shower of sparks. However, this is not a failure. It is a calculated sacrifice. In the milliseconds before destruction, the drone's sensors map the precise wind shear and atmospheric density, transmitting the telemetry data to the rest of the formation via an encrypted short-range laser link. In the Ukrainian bunker, the operators monitor the data feed in real time. The onboard flight computers ingest the Pathfinder's final telemetry and automatically recalibrate the glide slope and throttle for the remaining 19 drones. They are no longer just fighting the wind, they are utilizing it, dipping to 60 feet to take advantage of the river's thermal gradients to stabilize their flight. The Volga is vast, but while the Russian Air Defense Command is searching the stratosphere for a conventional threat, the Liutyi drones are moving just inches above the ice. The formation has successfully compensated for the atmospheric turbulence and is now crossing the 100-mile mark. The Big Bird radar remains focused on the clouds, unaware that 19 precision-guided munitions are currently utilizing the Russian heartland's own geography to bypass its billion-dollar defense umbrella. The target is closing in, and the Russian radar operators are about to find out that their invincible shield has a massive hole at the bottom. 2:45 a.m., 50 miles from Engels 2 Air Base. The electronic silence of the Saratov region is shattered as the S-400 battery's 9-2N6E gravestone radar suddenly floods the atmosphere with high-intensity X-band energy. The Russian operators, veterans of the 2025 drone campaigns, do not wait for a perfect lock. They recognize the faint, intermittent flicker on their screens for exactly what it is: a coordinated swarm. The command center immediately triggers Alert Level 1. The response is a display of practiced Russian military discipline. Mobile Pantsir S-1 units, specifically tasked with the base's inner-tier defense, roar into new firing positions along the Volga riverbank. At a range of 12 miles, the Pantsir S-1 begins to spit 9 M335 missiles into the dark. These Mach 3 interceptors are designed to incinerate anything from cruise missiles to small drones. In a series of blinding orange flashes, 2 Liutyi drones are vaporized, their composite frames shredded by pre-fragmented warheads. From the Russian perspective, they are winning a high-stakes game of target practice. They have identified the threat and are successfully peeling back the layers of the Ukrainian formation. But the Ukrainian operators anticipated this kinetic wall. As the 92N6E radar attempts to transition from search to track mode for the remaining 17 drones, the onboard AI triggers a quantum hop frequency sequence. This is the electronic equivalent of playing whack-a-mole, where the mole teleports every microsecond. The drone's radio command links jump across a randomized spectrum of frequencies so rapidly that the Russian electronic warfare units cannot maintain a solid jamming lock. To the Russian radar operators, it is a nightmare. Every time they think they have a track, the target's electronic signature disappears and reappears on a different band. In a desperate tactical gamble, the Ukrainian operators split the 19 drones into two distinct groups. Group A, consisting of 10 drones, climbs to 150 feet, purposefully increasing their radar cross-section to act as kinetic decoys. They draw the primary fire of the Pantsir S-1 and the S-400's 40 N6 missiles, sacrificing themselves to exhaust the Russian magazines. Meanwhile, Group B, the 9 remaining strike drones, dives even lower, dropping to just 30 feet above the water's surface. Through the high-resolution thermal feed of a lead strike drone, the massive 177-foot frame of the Tu-160 finally comes into view, its white paint glowing under the hangar lights. Suddenly, the screen tilt-shifts violently. A 30mm autocannon burst from a Pantsir S-1 stitches the air just yards away. The Ukrainian operator's heart is hammering against his ribs as he executes a brutal 45-degree evasive bank, the drone's carbon fiber wings groaning under the G-force. He clears the defensive fire by a hair's breadth. The Russians are perceptive and they are fighting with everything they have, but they are about to find out that a swarm doesn't need to be invincible. It just needs to be smarter than the computer trying to catch it. The blackjack is in the crosshairs and the final 12-mile sprint has begun. 03:15 a.m., 25 miles from the tarmac. The electronic battlefield at Engels 2 undergoes a radical transformation as the Russian military activates its final invisible barrier, the Krasuka 4 electronic warfare system. This mobile monster is designed to flood the atmosphere with high-powered jamming signals across a 186-mile radius, effectively severing the satellite and radio links that drones rely on for navigation. On the Russian command deck, the operators see the Ukrainian swarm beginning to waver. They intensify the jamming, successfully burning through the drone's frequency-hopping defenses and cutting the control links to 5 Liutyi units. These drones immediately lose stability and plunge into the freezing marshes of the Volga. The Russian technicians cheer as the flickers on their screens disappear. They believe they have finally decapitated the swarm's brain. But this is where the Ukrainian ghost swarm proves it is a generation ahead of Russian Cold War doctrine. Ukraine's engineers anticipated this total electronic blackout and integrated an autonomous AI pursuit mode into the drone's onboard flight computers. The moment the link to the bunker is severed, the drones stop looking for instructions from a human. Instead, they switch to an internal inertial navigation system combined with a preloaded terrain-matching digital map. Using their onboard optical sensors to compare the dark shapes of the Volga riverbanks with stored satellite imagery, the drones navigate by pure visual logic. Physics is the only pilot now. By maintaining an altitude of just 30 feet, the drones utilize the curvature of the Earth to reduce their radar return by 90%, staying beneath the main lobes of the 92N6E radar. The tactical situation is a high-speed chess match where Ukraine is consistently 5 moves ahead, while the Russian Krasuka 4 is busy jamming a signal that is no longer being used. The drones are silently executing their final approach. However, the Russian defenders are perceptive. They realize the drones are still coming despite the electronic wall. The base commander orders the Pantsir S-1 units to move directly to the river's edge. These mobile batteries begin a frantic search and destroy operation, firing their 30mm autocannons in long, sweeping bursts. 3 more Liutyi drones are caught in the crossfire, exploding into clouds of burning carbon fiber as they are shredded by high-explosive incendiary rounds. The Russian officers are shouting orders, their voices echoing in the radar vans. Target saturation, we cannot track them all. They are moving like ghosts. The computer systems of the S-400 and Pantsir S-1 are being pushed to their absolute processing limits, attempting to calculate 17 different low-altitude intercept trajectories simultaneously. The saturation overload is working exactly as planned. While the Russian defenders focus on the drones they can see, the remaining strike package is weaving through the gaps in the fire, utilizing the hive mind AI to ensure that at least a handful of units reach the two 160 bombers. The Russian defense is powerful and professional, but it is currently being suffocated by the sheer mathematical complexity of the Ukrainian assault. The target is now less than 10 miles away, and the Ghost has transitioned from a remote-controlled tool to an autonomous predator. 3:20 a.m., 5 miles from the runway. The mission enters a phase of brutal, unforeseen complications. The lead Liutyi drone, programmed to strike a peripheral fuel storage tank to create a diversion, detonates with a thunderous roar. The explosion, however, creates a massive problem. The intense heat flash combined with the sub-zero moisture of the Volga riverbanks generates a wall of thick, oily black smoke. This artificial fog, coupled with the natural suungmu, blinds the drone's primary optical sensors, causing the remaining formation to veer dangerously off course. The Russian commanders at Engels 2 react with immediate lethal precision. Recognizing the diversion, the base commander orders the Krasuka 4 electronic warfare system to max power across all spectrums. Simultaneously, a rapid response team of 50 Spetsnaz troops and 2 mobile Pantsir S-1 units roar toward the riverbank. The Russian soldiers, moving like a pack of wolves, set up a human wall of fire. Using their infrared-equipped DSK heavy machine guns and the Pantsir S-1's 30mm cannons, they create a kill zone of lead. Within seconds, 4 more Liutyi drones are shredded and plunge into the burning wreckage of the fuel farm. In the Ukrainian bunker, the situation is catastrophic. The intense Krasuka 4 jamming has finally severed the FPV control links completely. The screens of the operators go to solid black. For 5 agonizing seconds, the mission is effectively dead. The operators sit in stunned silence, their hearts stopping as they realize they have lost control of their multi-million-dollar gamble just miles from the target. The Russian defenders are already cheering, believing they have finally broken the swarm's back. But this is the moment Ukraine reveals its ace in the hole. While the Russians were focused on jamming radio and satellite signals, the Liutyi drones were equipped with a hive mind autonomous system, a technology that uses short-range, line-of-sight laser links to communicate between units. Because lasers don't use radio waves, the Krasuka 4 jamming is useless against them. The drones talk to each other through the smoke, sharing sensor data and recalculating their formation in a decentralized web of light. The hive mind comes alive, redistributing the mission data to the surviving units. The escalation reaches a fever pitch. As the strike drones emerge from the smoke at just 40 feet, a Russian soldier with a Cord 12.7mm machine gun manages to walk a burst across the wing of the primary strike FP5. The impact nearly sends the drone into a terminal spin, stripping 10% of its lift. To save the mission, the Ukrainian AI makes a brutal split-second sacrifice. 2 non-essential drones are redirected to kamikaze the nearest Pantsir S-1 battery, drawing its fire and creating a 5-second fire lane for the primary strike package. The Russian officers are shouting in a state of professional panic as they watch the drones reorganize themselves like a living organism. They thought their electronic warfare was a killing blow, but they just found out that Ukraine has built a hive that doesn't need a queen to function. The primary FPV drone, despite its damaged wing, is now accelerating back to 90 miles per hour, its camera locking onto the massive white silhouette of the first 2 160. The Ghost has been resurrected, and the Russian nuclear bombers are now less than 180 seconds from total destruction. 3:25 a.m. The primary Liutyi strike drone executes its terminal dive, screaming toward the 2 160 at Mach 0.1. Inside the Ukrainian bunker, the operator feels the weight of the war lift as he sees the drone's crosshairs lock onto the bomber's wing root, right where the massive internal fuel tanks hold 110,000 pounds of high-grade jet fuel. The 22-pound high-explosive warhead doesn't just explode, it performs a clinical amputation. The shaped charge punches through the 0.4-inch titanium-aluminum alloy skin, instantly converting the fuel into a 4,500-degree Fahrenheit fireball. The physics of the destruction are absolute. The primary explosion triggers a 1,450 pounds per square inch shockwave that shears the two 160s titanium wing box and ignites the KH-101 and KH-102 cruise missiles loaded in the internal bays. The strategic fallout is a death blow to Moscow's prestige. In less than 3 minutes, Ukraine has neutralized 20% of Russia's operational long-range nuclear bomber fleet. The S-400 and Pantsir S-1 systems, designed to protect the Kremlin's core interests, were rendered obsolete by $5,000 drones built from carbon fiber and hobbyist AI. The lesson for the Russian high command is terminal. You can build a nuclear triad to threaten the world, but you cannot protect it from an opponent who has mastered the art of smart warfare. Russia's nuclear Randai is no longer a triad, it's a broken dream shattered by a swarm of ghosts. Bye for now.